Emma, we are continuously getting in updates from on the ground as you're also telling us more about the situation on the ground. As of now, we know that there's a complete blackout in Karachi. We're also getting in reports of the manner in which this attack was carried out. If you can just help us better understand the very fact that this is an unprecedented attack, the nature itself of this attack. We also have been getting in reports that these terrorists were dressed in police uniform. For them to be able to enter the police station and carry out this attack in a heavily fortified area, which usually is always heavily safeguarded with security. If you can just tell us more about what we know at this point about the manner in which this attack was carried out. Do we know if the terrorists were dressed in police uniform? Because we do have reports talking about that.
There are reports suggesting that this is the case, that they were wearing police uniform. They have not been confirmed yet. Like I said, these reports will be confirmed once the situation is dealt with. However, if you look at the last 3-4 terror attacks on different locations, but targeting the police force, even if it's a mosque, they're targeting the police force. We can see that they were getting access by using a very easily available fake uniform, police uniform. There've been attacks on other security forces, and in those attacks as well, they were using the uniform, easily available uniform of those security forces. Also, we have to understand there are no biometrics. Anybody from any other branch could be visiting the police head office. There is no way to verify, even when they have those fake IDs on them, if they actually belong to the police force, because the police force has thousands of people, and without a proper computerized setup, the person at the gate does not know who to stop. So if someone's wearing police uniform and carrying weapons and entering the head office of police, it is very difficult for the people on the gates to stop them from entering. And I think that is what has been happening before. When police force wants to enter with guns, a mosque, for example, or any protected building for that matter, they are given easy access. And that's one of the trademark methods of TTP operating and doing their terrorism on these very well defended buildings, because the weakest defense is actually the main gate. They enter through the main gate, and once they are so close that nobody can take up weapons against those attackers, that's when they open indiscriminate firing. And we could, as I mentioned before as well, we could also hear a lot of explosions, and security experts who heard those explosions talked about them probably being hand grenades. So they enter the building and they start indiscriminate firing, and they throw hand grenades. And what we are really hoping is, because yesterday there were reports of 2 terrorists in Karachi being arrested with over 1,000 bomb detonators as well. So there was this high alert that if there was 1,000 bomb detonators, then there could be a backlash from terrorist parties, from terrorists like the TTP and several other band outfits that are banding together with the TTP. So once more than 1,000 bomb detonators were discovered, the SIU of Karachi arrested those people. There could have been a backlash. However, it is extremely unlikely that the terrorists who were arrested yesterday with those bomb detonators would be kept at the head office, the police chief's office of Karachi. It could be a mere retaliation. This could be a coincidence that yesterday those people were arrested and today this is happening. But like I said, Karachi has experienced a lot of terror, a lot of violence. Even some of very decorated police officers were target killed by terrorist outfits in Karachi. But something on this magnitude, where they come and occupy a building and fight with the might of the security forces in Karachi, that's unprecedented. So far, reports on injuries are very limited. The only reports we have is eyewitness account or one confirmed injury, that the police has a medical staffer at the hospital who does all the medical legal work for the police. So she has confirmed one injuries so far. The rest of the injury reports of injuries are coming through eyewitnesses. Officially, the police is not telling, as one would expect, how many injuries have taken place, how many deaths have taken place. This kind of information will come once the operation has reached its end. Right now, there is no saying how long the operation is going to take place. But given the fact that the whole city, and it's a huge city, it's one of the largest cities in the world, the might of the police force and the rangers which come under army and other law enforcement agencies, all those powerful forces banding together to defeat terrorists in the heart of the city, at the head office of the police station, the police force in Karachi, is unprecedented. It's remarkable, and it is a very dangerous trend that the TTP is setting, if it indeed is the TTP, blatantly attacking the heart of the police force in Karachi.
Right, Ahmad and Mateen Haider, please continue to stay on with us. Let's just play out for our viewers the latest visuals that we're getting in from on the ground as this attack continues to unfold.
शारा फैसल के दोनों तरफ के रोड जो है वो ट्रैफिक के लिए बंद कर दी गए।
And as Ahmad Shaheen and Mateen Haider were just pointing out and talking about the timing of this attack, talking about how Pakistan has witnessed a string of attacks, let's just give you a sample of the kind of tensions that Pakistan has been witnessing this year itself. In fact, in the month of January itself, the number of attacks that have taken place, just to give you an idea, how the year started for Pakistan on the 3rd of January itself. Two intelligence officers, including the director of the Provincial Counter-Terrorism Department, was shot dead. This was right outside a restaurant in Khanewal, Punjab. This was by suspected Pakistani Taliban gunmen. And just 10 days later, on the 13th of January, the Sadban police station attack that took place in Peshawar in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Just 2 days later, a gunman fled after shooting 3 officers. This was at the post in Sardar Dehri in Charsada district in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as well. 2 of the 3 soldiers had died on the way to the hospital. I could go on and tell you more about the attacks which have taken place just 3 days after that, and then 3 more attacks that took place in the month of January itself. But before I do that, let's just quickly go across to our correspondent, Anas Malik, who has been tracking those developments very closely, is now joining us over the phone line. Anas, we have been getting in these latest visuals from on the ground. What are you gathering through your sources? What is the situation looking like at this point?
Well, just as you talked to me, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has officially confirmed the attack at the City Chief Police Office in Karachi, and they have said that a team of their ishtihadis, basically suicide bombers, has attacked this police office in Karachi. That's what they have said, and they say that the details are to follow. What we know so far, that at least 8 to 10 what is said are unknown gunmen, quote unquote, stormed into the police office in Karachi. These are, it's right on the Shara Faisal, which is the main artery of Karachi, Pakistan's biggest city, the port city of Karachi. And they started firing indiscriminately. They were dressed in a police uniform, the classical modus operandi, what we saw repeat earlier as well. On the 30th of last month, when in Peshawar a similar attack took place, where a suicide bomber disguised as a police officer had blown himself up during prayers on a Monday, during afternoon prayers in police line headquarters of the Peshawar city. So we saw a similar repeat being done in Karachi. Karachi was already on high alert. The security was beefed up. Now, if I just explain you the trajectory or the demography of the area, it's just across the financial trade center, the FTC as it's known. Across to it is one of the areas of where the naval officers reside, but this is towards the police side where the police officers also reside. The Chief City Police Office, the CCPO office is also located inside this very police lines. And what we also know is that at least 3 people are confirmed injured. That includes 2 Rangers personnel, the paramilitary forces, and one of them being the ambulance driver of AC Ambulance Service, a private NGO service. In fact, if I just talk to you, the update has just come in that at least 2 people have been dead. That includes the casualty figure that has been confirmed, and the 2 dead they include one police cop and one civilian who is currently not identified. He is in civilian clothes. Now, I'm just reading you through the CTP statement, and it's a one-liner statement that says that the attack on the Karachi Police Office was done by CTP's Ishtihadi Mujahideen, and that they will be releasing details of it in a short while from now. Polly?
Right, as we await those further details to trickle in, as Anas was just pointing out, the very fact that this attack is taking place at a time like this, also the area in which this attack is unfolded, the police chief being taken hostage, an unprecedented attack, an attack of this nature taking place in the heart of Karachi itself raises multiple questions. I want to just get in Mateen Haider to comment on that aspect. Karachi was already on high alert, Mateen Haider. We have the security situation which has been questioned time and again. This is a heavily fortified area that we're talking about. For an attack of this nature to take place, the very fact that this is an attack taking place at a police chief's headquarters, at a police chief's office, and the police chief has been taken hostage. Do we know more about how the terrorists actually managed to enter the gate? Were they wearing police uniform? Do we have any confirmation about the way in which this attack unfolded?
I was this week I was in Karachi, and Pakistan Navy had multinational exercises. Due to this high-profile military event, the security in the provincial capital was already extraordinarily high. The Rangers van have been patrolling on Shara Faisal on all adjoining areas. Security was extraordinarily tough. So that's true. But this particular question, how terrorists made entry. So it was almost similar to what happened in Peshawar a few days back, when an attacker in a police uniform managed to enter into a building during the Friday prayers, and subsequently more than 100 people lost their lives. So this one, as you said, and as the media reports suggest, that the terrorists were wearing military uniform. So this is not known how they made entry, whether they were checked, they were not checked, how they have made entry into one of the most busiest and secured artery of Karachi. But the moment they reached Karachi Police Chief Office, they made heavy firing, hurled grenades, and made entry into the building. So far, the latest is that the 3rd floor of the Police Chief Office has been cleared. 2 terrorist police has confirmed that they have been killed. 3 other persons have been injured who have been taken to the hospitals. There are also reports that 2 persons have been killed. One is believed to be a policeman and the other one is a civilian. Encounter is still on, but it is not known that how these terrorists made entry into the building. Of course, the modus operandi was opening massive firing, throwing grenades, and subsequently they made entry. But how they made entry into the city and why they were checked, this will be definitely probed while the police opens high-level investigation into this particular incident. And the Chief Minister of Sindh has directed the Karachi Police Chief that initial inquiry should immediately be conducted. The security in the provincial capital has to be made extraordinarily high. Yes, over to you.
Right. Ahmad, what do we know about the current situation? Is the firing still underway? Any statement or any reaction coming in from the police authorities confirming the number of those who have been injured, whether or not a high-ranking police official has been killed? Because we have seen reports suggesting that as well.
Yes, none of that is confirmed, but what is confirmed is what we were speculating. And it's rather sad that as journalists, I mean, as a journalist myself, I try my best not to speculate on who could have been behind an attack while it's going on. But as you were listening to me and I was saying that I don't want to say it, but all of this are signature textbook marks of the TTP. Now the reports are coming in that the TTP has accepted a responsibility for this attack. And only yesterday, the USIP, the United States Institute of Peace, released a report in which they said that the Afghanistan's Taliban rulers are actually, they do not want to discontinue their support for the TTP. And they're very supportive of TTP. And Pakistan is trying to counter the effect of these terrorist attacks, but Pakistan is not going as far as going after them and hitting them where it hurts because of perhaps because of the current economic crisis in Pakistan as well. That could be one of the factors why Pakistan isn't actively going out there against their installations. There are arrests. I mean, today night this is happening. Yesterday night this was happening again. Last night, the Punjab Counter-Terrorism Department, the CTD, was getting attacked in a very similar fashion. A group of TTP terrorists were attacking in a place in Miawali. And, it's kind of deja vu. Every day, these terrorist forces are attacking the police rather than the other way around. Yesterday, some explosive material and, as I mentioned, more than 1,000 detonators were, and several terrorists and some leaders of TTP were arrested yesterday as well, both in Miawali and in Karachi. So the police and the counterterrorism department is taking actions. However, there is no operation. We can remember that Pakistan as a country, the security forces, the military itself conducted operations against these terrorists, and there were negotiations, there was peace, there were some bad footages coming out of those negotiations too. But Pakistan as a country was really going after the terrorists, what we say, their places of, where they feel secure, those areas where they feel secure. However, right now, what we're seeing is that they're trying to secure cities, they're trying to retaliate in a very local manner. They're not really going where they're based from, these terrorists. And it could be the fact that Pakistan perhaps is not in a position to go all out against where they're coming from and sealing the borders and everything, especially one of our neighbors isn't really supporting the idea of stopping the TTP.
Right. Since you mentioned that, Ahmad, and since you also spoke about the Peshawar attack, I just want to go back to what the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif had said while admitting that the authorities had failed to avert the Peshawar carnage, had also called for national unity to tackle the menace. Now, Pakistan's failure to tackle the TTP, to deal with these attacks, has been questioned time and again. At this point, we're looking at the government looking like it is unable to tackle them, looking like it is in an extremely weak position. Now, as you mentioned, the TTP has claimed responsibility for this latest attack as well. Let's just talk about why Pakistan has been so helpless when it comes to dealing with the TTP. And we have the Prime Minister of the country asking for national unity. What does that even mean?
I don't know what that means. I mean, the nation is united against terrorism, but it is not the job of the nation but to make policies. The nation elects our leaders mostly. Sometimes we don't. And those leaders make policy. The elephant in the room is the policy of allowing these people to operate as good Taliban and bad Taliban. The policy of back in the days when we as a country, Pakistan, was used to basically give birth to and nurture the Taliban and their regime. So I think the problem lies with thousands of madrasas operating without any government intervention, any overt government intervention. I think the policy is the biggest issue that we're facing. And that is why the solution is not with the common man. The solution is perhaps not with the Prime Minister either. The solution is in the policy of disassociating the state with these miscreants and disassociating any strategies that the state has that does not coincide, because snakes are snakes. They will bite you if they're in your backyard, and this is what's happening to Pakistan. Of course, a lot of terrorists and a lot of equipment, terror equipment, bombs and ammunition is coming from across the border from Afghanistan as well. But at the end of the day, these are people, a lot of these people were given safety and home and a place to operate and train more people
Right.
within the borders of Pakistan.
Right, Amar, we're completely out of time. We will continue to get our viewers the latest coming in from on the ground. At this point, we have to take a short break. Thanking Ahmad Shaheen, Mateen Haider and our correspondent Anas Malik for helping us better understand the situation which is unfolding at this point following that attack, the hostage situation. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.